going on, you guys? Welcome back to the Sweet to the Soul podcast. It's your host, Nevaeh Galan. And I feel like a lot of the times when I'm recording an episode, I jump right into the topic and I just don't even talk with y'all. I don't know, I feel like maybe I should do a life update, but my life is pretty boring. Well, actually, when you guys hear this, it's probably going to be 2 weeks after it's been recorded, because right now I'm recording. I'm at home from college. I'm on my quote-unquote winter break, but a lot of schools call it their spring break. But it's snowing right now, so I'm going to stick with that winter break. But this episode won't be released for a couple weeks, so I don't know. My life is pretty boring. I can't really do an update. Life's been pretty good, though. If I want to do an update, I would say life's been pretty good. Not ready to go back to school, but yeah. This podcast, you guys are the OGs, bro. Let me tell you, when I started this podcast, I did not think it was going to blow up the way it has, and I'm so grateful that it has. So I appreciate you all so much for sharing, for listening, for giving me advice, feedback on what you guys want to hear. And the topic we're going to do today, it's on social media. And I can definitely say that if it wasn't for social media, that this podcast would not have been such a success early on as it has been. But social media is so huge right now, and it can honestly bring out the best and the worst parts of our society today. And obviously, there are huge benefits from social media. The whole reason behind social media being made was so that people could be able to communicate with other people from across the world, and we still do that today. I know a lot of people who have grown friendships with people from a different side of the country and have met up and they are best friends, or even just relationships, romantic relationships. I don't know if I would ever, let's talk about it. Would you guys ever be with somebody, if they're from across the world? Is there any hope? I've seen people do it. I don't know if they've lasted in that relationship, but it's definitely a pro of social media. And social media can be very addicting. Let's be honest. If you are an iPhone user, you can go on your phone and see, actually, let's pull mine up. You can see how much time you spend on your phone. I'm going really off script right now, but let me pull up my screen time. This is going to be bad. Okay. Wow. I don't even know if I want to share. Okay, so my average time on my phone is 7 hours and 16 minutes. I'm on my phone probably more than I sleep. Oh my God, I should not have shared that, but and now, okay, I'm on TikTok the most, and then Instagram, Netflix, and then Snapchat. That's crazy. Wow. Just on social media itself, I think this is a weekly average. I have 28 hours and 19 minutes. Oh my God, my total screen time, is this weekly? Oh yeah, this is a week. Okay. My weekly for everything, just my screen time, is 50 hours and 57 minutes. Wow. All right, I'm putting the phone down. I do not even want to look at that anymore. Maybe I'll give an update in the next couple episodes of if that screen time has went down. I doubt it will. But let's be honest though. I'm going to take into account that I have been on spring break this entire week. So obviously I am on my phone more now than if I'm at school, but that is still really big. And social media has actually been found to be a form of a psychological addiction, which is crazy. So when we're on our phone reacting with social media, our brain releases the hormone called dopamine. And this is the same hormone that plays a role in human pleasure. It plays a role in influencing your mood and feelings for a reward or motivation. And get this, this is also the same hormone that our brain releases when people smoke, drink, or gamble. Isn't that insane? My mind is literally blown. How can the same thing that can cause people to die or get cancer be the same type of hormone that is released when we're just scrolling through TikTok or scrolling through Instagram? That's insane. With social media, we get instant gratification from doing pretty much nothing. And although social media does have a lot of positive aspects to it, it also does bring out the negative side of a lot of people. You're pretty much interacting with people behind a screen, so it's really easy to change your identity, want to be somebody else on social media, which is when we get into the negative parts of social media and how you can become an idol to social media. Too much of anything can become really toxic and bad for you, and that is when we get into that idol aspect of social media, relying on it too much. Having it as your sort of fix, like a drug fix, can become really easy to do. And it's just to the point of when you're not on social media 24/7, you crave it a lot more. And at times, you may not realize how much you're always on your phone until you decide to not be on your phone. And I have done a social media break, which I will talk about. But even like just being in class and being in school, sitting through a lecture for an hour and a half, however long it is, a lot of people can find that really difficult to do because you can't be on your phone during that time. And the fact that you can't go an hour without your phone should tell you that there's a problem there. There's a type of attraction you have to that, a type of need and want that you have to social media or your phone. People who just can't study without looking at their phone, I know a lot of people like that. And there is also this one thing which I found out the term for. This has happened to me more times than I can count probably, where I know it's happened to other people. You have your phone on you and you feel like you heard it vibrate. You feel like you got a notification and you think you heard your phone go off, but it actually didn't. And that is called the phantom vibration syndrome. And it's a real thing, which is insane. And again, it has happened to me where it just like I could have swore I heard it go off and I look at my phone and it did not go off. And it's just like, we're just so used to it, so used to getting a notification from an app or from somebody texting us, calling us, that we're just always looking out for it. We're always on the ready and we're on the go waiting for that notification to come. And even just that can kind of show you how toxic or how much hold that social media has on our day-to-day lives. And it can become really bad for your mental health, especially. I know I just had an episode released about mental health, so go check that out if you guys haven't already. It was a big eye-opener for me and a lot of my listeners to just realize what can really affect your mental health and how you can get a grasp of it and treat it in the best way possible. But social media has a big deal to do with that. Not only is social media a platform for communication, but it's a platform for comparison. We're always comparing ourselves to somebody else's situation, to somebody else's lives. We're opening up TikTok or opening up Instagram and we're seeing people post about the perfect party they went to last weekend, the perfect meal they just had, the perfect family they have, the perfect friends, all these things. And if you guys can see me right now, I'm putting air quotes around perfect because it's not. Let's be honest, no one is going to post the worst picture that they have of themselves or whatever they're doing on social media to the public. No one is going to do that. They're going to be cropping it, editing it, putting filters on, taking 1,000 pictures just to get the right one that they want to show to the rest of the world. And that just goes to show that social media has never really been about us. It's been about other people and how they perceive us. Because if it was about us, we wouldn't be looking at a picture we just took of ourselves and thinking, oh my God, my hair's sticking up. Oh, I have a lazy eye. Oh, my stomach isn't tucked in this well. I didn't stand right. My foot looks weird. My hand looks weird. All these things. And we're thinking, if I notice this about my picture, someone out there in the public eye is going to notice that. So I'm not going to post that picture. And again, this is how we start to compare ourselves to other people on social media, thinking that they're portraying their perfect lives when in reality, no one is perfect and they're just showing you the best image of themselves to get your attention. And it can start to affect your mental health, your anxiety, depression, PTSD, all of these things. And social media is a platform for communication, but it's also a platform for comparison, and we have turned it into that platform. We've also turned it into a platform of trauma, PTSD, again, all of these mental health issues. Because take, for instance, a breakup, whether it's a romantic breakup or maybe it's just a friendship breakup. Maybe you're not talking to family members, whatever the case is, social media is a place you're going to go to check up on this person, see what they're doing, see how they are, what they're doing day to day, all of these things, and it can turn into a very negative cycle. And I think it gets into a little bit about blocking people and monitoring what you're seeing on social media. A lot of people have this negative emotion towards blocking people, and they're really hesitant to block somebody. I am not. Let me tell you, I will block you. I really will. I do not care because social media is for me and I need to start treating it like it's for me. So if there's anything on social media that is not benefiting me, I want to get rid of it, honestly. Because why do you get social media? You get it to benefit you, to communicate with people that you want to communicate with, to see people and follow up with people that you want to follow up with. So I don't think of it as a negative emotion or negative feedback whatsoever. If there is something that is not bettering my journey, my healing journey, Or if there is something that is stopping my healing journey from continuing, I will get rid of it. So whether it's unfollowing or blocking somebody, whether it's an ex best friend, someone in a family member, maybe somebody that you're always comparing yourself to on social media, do it. Remember that social media is used for your benefit, not your harm. So get rid of anything that is harmful to you, anything that is going to make you contradict yourself. So with everything going on now, everything that you can see through social media, I think it's really important to know when you've hit your limit, when you've hit that boundary of when it's becoming draining to be on social media, when it's affecting your mind and your emotions. So it's really important to decide when it's best to take social media breaks. So in November of 2021, I actually decided to take a break from TikTok for that entire month. And I honestly did not think I was going to be able to do it. It was kind of like a spontaneous thing where I was like, you know what, let's just get rid of TikTok. Because honestly, at that point in time, it was becoming a very toxic platform for me. So I decided that month I was just going to take a break off of it. So I had deleted the app from my phone. And if you guys are on TikTok, I did not realize, well, I think subconsciously I realized this, but once I downloaded it back, I lost all my drafts. I had like 100 drafts. I was so mad. And I think my roommate actually told me like, oh, you know, when you download it back, like all that's going to be gone. And my heart, it did break a little bit. But the break that I had from it was really successful. For that month that I decided to delete the app, I focused my energy onto other things that were going to benefit me. So I got very close with God, reading my Bible whenever I felt those temptations to download the app back. I got really into school and practicing more of my study habits because at that time, my school, just my habits of studying and focusing all my time into school was at an all-time low. So that break from TikTok really put me in a better mindset to focus on school. And I don't think you realize how much time you spend on your phone or spend on an app until you get rid of it. Because there were some days where I was like, did I always have this much time on my hands? And in reality, no, I didn't. I just used my time very unwisely. I would spend the times where I could have been studying or could have been doing something for my mental health, like just taking a break, hanging out with friends, catching up with family. I used that time and put it all into social media. So I did not realize that until I deleted the app. And if I'm being completely honest, there has been times where I felt like I just wanted to delete all social media platforms because of how toxic it was becoming in my life. But then I think about all the good that social media has done for people and has done for me. Like, if we're just talking about this podcast, if it wasn't for social media, I would not have been able to get this platform out there to people all across the world. We have listeners from Australia, India, Russia, South Africa, all these places, and I strongly believe that if it wasn't for social media, this podcast would not have been successful as quickly as it has been. But social media breaks are extremely necessary, even if it's for a month like what I did, or if it's for a week or even just a day. You'll start to realize how much time you have on your hands when your face isn't always crammed into your phone, scrolling through apps, checking on what other people are doing, how they're living their life. I'm telling you, it's definitely necessary because of how toxic the platforms can become. I know I talked a lot about the negative aspects of social media because honestly, I feel like that's what needs to be talked about a lot more, because with mental health being an upcoming topic that I have just continuously been talking about, social media has a large part to do in this with comparing yourself to other people, whether it's a body image thing or maybe it's how long your journey is taking, how long it's taking you to get married, to start a family, to have kids, how long it's taking you to graduate from high school or graduate from college, start a career. All these things, social media has become a platform to compare your life to somebody else's and to think less of your life when you see somebody else doing something better than you or maybe quicker than you. And that just goes to show that we all have a different journey to take. We all have a different timing on our lives, and it cannot be rushed by the journey of somebody else's life. But there are a ton of positives. Just with this podcast, social media has allowed me to get my voice out there to not only people in my state, but people across the country, people across the world, globally. And also communication with other people that maybe you don't know around your area. And not only my voice in podcasting, but I know a lot of people from this younger generation who are putting their voice out there for their entrepreneurship, creating a business, a clothing brand, a shoe brand, nutrition companies, music, all this stuff. Social media has allowed us to expand our voice, expand our mission out there to people who have no idea who we are, people who are listening to this podcast I've never seen before, never heard of before. It's just crazy how much social media can do and how much it can travel and change people's lives for the better. So social media definitely has a positive impact on people's life, but I think just with anything, too much is always not good for you. So knowing how to take those breaks, knowing when to limit apps or to limit people on your apps, it's really important to do. All right, and that's going to conclude this week's episode on social media. I hope you guys enjoyed tuning into this episode. Make sure you guys hit that subscription button on whatever platform you're listening on so that you guys get notified whenever I post a new episode. Leave a like, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next episode. Peace out.